Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm so happy you're joining me this evening. There are some slight changes to the service this evening. I hope they are to everyone's enjoyment, benefit, etc. We got some new slides and new permissions for use of our prayer book in general, but now in a digital form. So on the majority of the slides, you will see page numbers from each tefillah. The larger number is what most of you are used to, our thicker book, but there's also the Shabbat only number, which is the thinner book on most of the slides. If you're following along in either the physical book, the digital book, etc. We will join together first in song. Maya fe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Maya fe hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Maya fe hayom. Shabbat shalom. Maya fe hayom. Shabbat shalom. We read together as we prepare to light the Shabbat candles. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who house us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. We read together. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Or zaruach lat sadik uyishrei lev simcha. Or zaruach lat sadik uyishrei lev simcha. Or zaruach lat sadik uyishrei lev simcha. Uyishrei lev simcha. Or Zaruach Latzadiko Yishrei Lev Simcha. U Yishrei Lev Simcha. Ya la lai lai. Ya lai lai lai. Ya lai. Ya lai. Ya lai. Ya lai lai lai. Ya lai lai lai. Ya lai. Ya lai. Ya lai. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. From Psalm 97. We continue together with Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath bride. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki mekor habracha, mirosh mikadem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machashava tehila. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva ore kumi uri, 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 shirda beri, kevod Adonai alai knigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. We rise in body or in spirit as we welcome the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'betzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai elalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. So I'm noticing that some of the Hebrew might be a little bit cut off by the format that Zoom does to YouTube. So I apologize for that. I'll have to fix it for next week. I just want to say to those who've joined us, Shabbat Shalom, welcome. We're so glad that you are with us this evening. We've got new slides. They line up with our prayer book. The numbers at the bottom of the slide on what I see is the right of the slide are from the thin book and the larger book of Mishkan Tefillah, either the Shabbat only or the full collection of Mishkan Tefillah. If you're following along in a hard copy, in a digital copy, or something else, everything now matches. And we have our translations in English that we've missed so much. I'd like to publicly thank our anonymous donor who made this possible. We continue together in song with Mizmor Shir, Psalm 92, as we continue to welcome Shabbat. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot LaAdonai, Ulezamer LeShimcha Elyon, Ulezamer LeShimcha Elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunacha balelot, alei asur ve'alei navel, alei higayon bechinot. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot LaAdonai, Ulezamer LeShimcha Elyon, Ulezamer LeShimcha Elyon. Ki samachtani Adonai b'fo'alecha, b'ma'aseh yadecha aranim. Ma gadlu ma'asecha Adonai, me'od ha'amku machshevotecha. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot LaAdonai, Ulezamer LeShimcha Elyon, Ulezamer LeShimcha Elyon. I hope everyone will join me in Shalom Aleichem as we welcome the ministering angels. Shalom Aleichem, Malechei Hasharet, Malechei Elyon. Mi melech malechei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boechem leshalom, malechei hashalom, malechei elyon. Mi melech malechei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu ni leshalom, malechei hashalom, malechei elyon. Mi melech malechei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Seitchem leshalom, malechei hashalom, malechei elyon. Mi melech malechei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Excuse me. We continue together with the Chatzi Kaddish as we mark this moment of transition from Kabbalat Shabbat to the formality of our service. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, ubizman kariv, bimeru, amen. Yehi Shmeira B'Mevorach Le'olam Olam Me'omaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitbar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitale V'yitalal Shmei D'Kedusha B'richu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma b'meru. Amen. We rise in body or spirit as we recite the words from Noah Aronson, his kavanah, am I awake, am I prepared? And as we pray the Baruch Hu. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Le'olam Va'ed. Yalla la la, yalla la 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 la la. We pray together. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We join together in Shema, the watchword of our faith. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem Emet. We read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land. The winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together. We join together in our song of redemption, Mi Chomocha. Yai lai lai yai lai lai la 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 lai yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai yai lai lai yai lai la 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 lai yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei felech, nora tehilot osei felech. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Eliyanu ve'amru, ze Eliyanu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. We continue together in the English. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth, prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue in song with Vishamru as we give thanks for Shabbat. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני Asa Adonai et hashamayim vet haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Let's all take a big deep breath in together and out. So we rise in body or spirit for the tefillah, for the Amidah, our standing prayer. Adonai sifatayv tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imateinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Hanora, El Elyon. Gomel chasadim tovim, vekonei hakol, v'zocher chastei avot b'imahot, u'mevi gula lifnei b'neihem, leman shemo v'yahava. Melech ozer Mashiach u'magid, Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמנת לחיות הכל. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. We read together in the English on the next number of slides. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladness with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh HaShabbat. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you. In this land, in Zion, restored in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odecha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Modim anachnu lach. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hato shimcha l'cha na'eh lahodot. We continue together with Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol ed u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We take some time to pray Tefillat Halev, the prayers of our hearts, our silent prayer. There are words to contemplate on the screen, or the words in your hearts and minds. Yiyu levatson imrefi Imrefi ve'yon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, vegoali. Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, imru, amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. At this moment in our service, our thoughts turn to those in our community who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, or of spirit. If there's someone you're thinking of and you'd like to add their name, please feel free to do so in the chat. The congregation is thinking of Al, Nora, Rania, Dennis, Deb, Judy, Haley, Amy, Mark, and Nancy. And Galen's mother. Bonnie and Bill. We join together in our prayer for healing as we hold all these names, the names we do not say, we have not said, and the names of those we do not know. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We're going to do something a little differently. I'm just going to have me while I speak a little bit this evening. And I'd love feedback. From services this week. There's a number of new pieces being worked out. This week's Parsha Akev is the Parsha, the section of the Torah that introduced the world, in English, to, by the King James Version, man does not live by bread alone. What does it mean that we do not live by bread alone? This week is also the basis of our custom to recite Birkat Hamazon, our blessings traditionally recited after a meal with bread. Connection there. Which raises the questions. What does it mean to bless? What does it mean to be grateful? We bless meals that include bread with an elaborate series of blessings. Meals without bread are blessed with a much shorter alternative. The idea for blessing our meal after we have consumed it is unique. Most people think we should and must bless before doing something, which we also do. But this tradition comes directly from a verse in this week's Parsha, Akev. For in Deuteronomy 8:10 it states, "And you shall eat and be satisfied and bless Adonai your God for the good land which God has given you." What does it mean to eat and be satisfied? What does it mean to bless God? Both of these questions are discussed at length in our commentaries, starting with the Mishnah. The Mishnah, which was codified around the year 200 CE in Birkat 3:3, states the following in regards to the verse. Women, slaves, and minors are exempt from reciting the Shema and putting on tefillin, but are obligated to tefillah, the Amidah, mezuzah, on our doorposts, and Birkat Hamazon, our blessing after meals. Women are exempt from time-bound mitzvot, something to delve into more deeply at another time. But it is important to note here that the Birkat Hamazon, our blessing after meals, is not considered time-bound, even though it must be recited at the conclusion of a meal. 3 chapters later, in Berachot 6:8, we get another description of blessing after eating without bread involved this time. It states, if one has eaten grapes, figs, or pomegranates, one blesses after them 3 blessings, the words of Rabban Gamliel. The sages say 1 blessing, which includes 3. And Rabbi Akiva says, even if one ate only boiled vegetables and that is his meal, he says after it the 3 blessings. Right? Yet we learn from Sukkot 2:5 the following story. It once happened that they brought a dish to Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai to taste, and 2 dates and a pail of water to Rabban Gamliel, and they said, bring them up to the sukkah. And when they gave Rabbi Zadok food less than the bulk of an egg, right, smaller than the bulk of an egg, he took it in a napkin, ate it outside of the sukkah, and did not say a blessing after it. So though the Mishnah discusses blessing after meals in multiple places and explains what is needed or excluded, we never find the entire text of a blessing, either Birkat Hamazon as we know it now, or an alternative in the Mishnah. Instead, we must learn further commentary from the Babylonian Talmud, which is codified around the year 650 CE. In Arkin 4a4, we are taught, quote, that since the merciful one, God, states in the Torah, and you shall eat and be satisfied and bless Adonai your God, the obligation to recite grace after meals is contingent upon eating and being satisfied. Both steps have to be done in order for it to be time to recite the grace after meals, Birkat Hamazon. We learn in Birkat 21a3, which teaches in the name of Rabbi Yehuda, from where is the mitzvah by Torah law to recite grace after meals derived, as it is stated, and you shall eat and be satisfied and bless Adonai your God. We also learn the importance of blessing our food through teachings from the Musar tradition, our tradition of self-improvement. So we've moved from Mishnah and Talmud, which is chock full of law and understanding, right, to Musar, which is much more about our inner work and what we do to make ourselves better. One such teaching is from the book Shnei Luchot Habrit, which states the following: Eretz asher lo b'miskanot ta'ochel bat lachem. We have an allusion here to the advice of our sages not to eat like a glutton, but to eat in order to stay alive. We learn this first when the Torah describes the amount that Joseph sold to his brothers. The amount is described as shaver ra'avon, i.e., enough grain to still the hunger. This is the meaning of the words lo b'miskanot. On the one hand, one must be careful not to suffer from undernourishment. On the other hand, one must not eat as a matter of indulgence. This is why the Torah demands that we bless Adonai as soon as we've eaten enough to feel sated. We should train ourselves to be satisfied with what God has granted us. Each one of our commentaries adds another layer of importance to the verse we read this week. And you shall eat and be satisfied, and bless Adonai your God for the good land which God has given you. This is how our tradition has evolved since the time of our ancestors were given the Torah. Each generation has added a layer of understanding, a layer of development that allows Torah to be relevant in our lives today, thousands of years after it was given. Today's custom of reciting Birkat Hamazon include referring to it colloquially as benching, the English version of the Yiddish term benchen, which means to bless. On Shabbat, to start the blessing with the singing of Psalm 126, various editions for holidays, that it is a tradition that if 3 or more people are gathered, that there is a section of leader and followers, similar to the Barhu, where the leader asks if people are ready, and the followers say they are. If there are 10 or more people, God's name is included in this invitation, a recognition once again of the importance of minyan, a group of 10 adults in our tradition, when praying in any setting. And yet another custom is to bless a cup of wine if there are 10 or more gathered. Each custom, each tradition adds another layer of importance to blessing the bounty which God has given us. It is easy to say thank you for something when you want it or need it, but to say thank you after you are satisfied, when you have already received what you need, this is hard. This is the lesson I hope you take away with you this evening. Being grateful is a Jewish practice. The recitation of blessings may sound rote to many of us, but the root requirement is gratitude, something we will all benefit from practicing more often. May you go into Shabbat with gratitude for rest. May you enter the week with gratitude for the blessings of life, of learning, and of love. Shabbat Shalom. We will continue together with the Aleinu. Please rise in body or spirit. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tegula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kue haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchokenu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam. Ve'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shehu noteh shamayim ve'osed haaretz u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim ima'al u'shchinatu zo ve'gov meromim u'Eloheinu einod emet malkeinu epesulato Kagatu b'torato Yadata hayom behashevota elevavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim imam ve'al הארץ והארץ מתחת עינות עינות. We read together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You may be seated. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and everyone is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. Our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us. If there's someone you're thinking of and you'd like to add their name to the yahrzeit list, please feel free to do so in the chat. The congregation is remembering the yahrzeits of Eva Androsky, Barbara Artson, Michael K. Bach, Rosalie Berman, Lillian Bernard, Rose Helen Blank, Ruth Frank, Jean Gall, Ruth Galperin, Sadie Golden, Linda Paul Haft, Nathan Kaplan, Tilly Madison, Lucille McDonald, Pauline Orwin, Raymond Peters, Louis Pollins, Frida Reinheimer, Anna Rittman, Julia Schwan, Bessie Schwidke, Herb Schwidke, Max Shapiro, Louis Skolnick, Louis Shamosky, Jean Tanoff-Glasser, Morris Weintraub, Kenneth Iser, and we're in Shloshim for Stuart Karabinek. Hendricks. We continue together with the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach rute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayed chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman kariv b'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lomei maya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. I'm realizing I don't think I put an announcements slide back in here. I'm correct. I didn't. Okay, announcements. The book club had a lovely meeting. They've picked a new book, The Jew and the Lotus. The meeting will not be until mid to late October. But if you have questions, please do reach out to me or to Carrie. I'm happy to pass things along to Carrie if that's easier for people. After services, please join Nora for Oneg. I will put the information in the chat as I say this on Zoom. The links and information are also in today's email if you received it. That and delight is the password. It was a lovely meetup last week. I hope it continues. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. If you don't join us at 11 o'clock on Fridays for our schmooze, to join us for Oneg after services. We miss these moments of random connection that we get when we attend services in person. Services tomorrow will be on Zoom at 10 a.m. Torah study will begin at 11:30 on Zoom. Same link for both, just a official pause in between to give people time to do other things. Please do keep a lookout for our weekly emails and everything else as we move through August. I am teaching Monday night at 7 on Zoom. Link will be in Monday's email about Elul, a month before Rosh Hashanah that's coming up in a few weeks. It's a time of reflection, contemplation, opportunity to really consider if we are in the space and place that we wish we were to be. I have a number of resources to share, some things that are happening online as well as books that have been around for a while. And I hope you'll join me for that conversation. Services next week, 7 p.m. on YouTube here and 10 a.m. on Zoom. I think that is everything. If you're interested in participating in high holidays and have not gotten back to the person who's called you or is about to call you, please do feel free to reach out to Ray, who is on the rack and found at the very end of our member directory, or to me if you'd like to participate in some way. We will be pre-recording people's participation soon. Please do join for Oneg after. We will conclude together with the Adon Olam. The words are in front of you. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivrach, Leit Nasa, Behefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hoveh, Vehu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Hashem Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivrach, Leit Nasa, Behefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Echad V'yein Sheni, Laham Shelo Lehachbira Adon Olam, B'li Reshit, B'li Tachlit, V'lo Ha'oz V'ha'misra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivrach, Leit Nasa, Behefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Eli, V'chai Goeli, V'sur Chavli B'yetzara Adon Olam, Vehu Nisi Umanosli, Menat Kasi B'yom Ekra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivrach, Leit Nasa, Behefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, B'yado Akid Ruhi, B'yet Yishan Ve'atira Adon Olam, V'im Ruhi Gaviyati, Adon Ali V'lo Ira Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I was so happy to have you with me and for engaging in the chat. It's lovely to have you all with me this evening. Please do join for Oneg. Information is in the chat. Shabbat Shalom.